kinda dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, you stop coming and they don't stop coming. That's the rules of the ground money. It makes sense to live for fun.
Pocar is our Purdue Outing Club adventure race. It's an annual event that we've held for almost 10 years. And it's a 48-hour event where teams are given a map and a compass and a list of checkpoints. They have to go find those checkpoints, and it usually ends up being about 50 miles.
Oh, you aren't giving the points out beforehand?
No. Plotting is part of the race this year. You'll hate us for that when you actually see the points.
The correct wording we like to say is challenging, but not tricky.
Okay.
Easy to find, hard to follow. In that they should be easy to locate the flags if they can navigate themselves to the right location.
And navigating is literally using a topographic map and a compass, plotting your points, and then using the terrain to match the topographic map.
You use the terrain, there's some trails marked on the map. Another technique that a lot of teams use is pace counting, where they know each pace is about so many feet or so many meters. Then they know about how far they've gone if they count how many paces they've walked. So they can use that. But generally, there's no electronic navigation aids, no GPS. They're just out here on their own.
And no motorized vehicles of any kind, no mountain bikes.
Everything's on foot, no motorized
vehicles.
vehicles.
I did notice in the instructions that you're allowed to use a pogo stick.
Yes, you are allowed to use a pogo stick. We did put that in there, and in fact, if you complete the race with a pogo stick, you're allowed to race for free forever.
What kind of equipment do you have to be prepared for tonight's below freezing temperatures?
Well, a good sleeping bag with a low temperature rating is best. Definitely a foam pad to go underneath that, protects you from the temperature coming from the ground into your bag, and then a 4-season tent or a good sturdy 3-season tent helps. Past that, just some hardy stock.
We'll have several patrol cars out through the course, patrolling around, making sure the racers are safe. In addition, we'll have a secondary fire water checkpoint that's also staffed.
There's required equipment that they have to take with them. Sleeping bags.
Sleeping bags, some form of shelter. It can be as light as a tarp. It can be as heavy as a big tent, whatever they're comfortable with.
Now they can come back here and they can actually get in their vehicles.
That's right.
Tell me about that.
They can get in their vehicles. We let them store some supplies, food, change of clothes. Their camping is available, but they're not allowed to turn on the car.
So they can't get the heater going.
They can't get the heater going. They can sleep in the car too if they'd like.
Well, which might be kind of nice to get out of the bitter cold wind.
It would be nice. It is windy here.
Now, do you have teams that will just they will stay out the whole time? And
yes, we have several teams. In fact, usually the top finishers just race straight through, and they finish in about 20 hours or so, and they just go nonstop.
So you can't actually finish in 20 hours. It's not a full 48 hours.
It doesn't necessarily take the full 48 hours. That's just the deadline that we impose.
Okay.
And it is Pocar. You got to be ready for anything. Really important, you need to have a minimum of 4 people racing on your team, all right? And you need to be within eye shot and ear shot of each other at all times. So no splitting up to go find checkpoints. Stay together. That's for safety reasons.
Purdue, 2 seniors, 2 freshmen, and we're just out here to have some fun, really, but just kind of figuring out what we want to do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What's your strategy here?
Be efficient. Try not to get too hot. Don't get all sweated up before it gets too cold.
Run and then cry and then run, cry, run, cry.
Cry, run. Be
manage the food, water, and electrolytes really well, so we can, not worry about running, not worry about cramping.
We're all going to plot and replot and check everybody's plots, and we're going to come up with like a team plan and stick to it.
What's the hardest part about adventure racing? What's the most difficult aspect?
Getting your butt to move. No, really, I think it's more mental, even more mental than physical.
Okay. What's your guys' plan to get through that mental block then? What's your strategy?
Rough it, I guess. Just
we'll be thinking about after the race.
Yeah, thinking about how we're gonna relax after the race. Yeah.
So we're on the road for the first little bit. Apparently we've been made fun of a lot because we got lost on the way here for about 2 hours, but no one needs to know that. The older kids were at Walmart last night, and they decided that they'd try and get us like a flare gun, but it cost too much. Morning number 2, and we are pumped to go. We got the tune. We're dancing. Dance party. Dance party. Dance party. I believe that the climbing kayaker saga has a news story. Tell it.
Well, we all gathered to take a picture on the ice over there. The kayakers went first, obviously, and we didn't realize that they were standing kind of a little bit further apart when we took the picture. And then when it was our turn to take the picture, they kept saying, "Oh guys, get closer, get closer, get closer," until we were all in this really small area, and then all of a sudden we hear this huge crack underneath us. It was kind of funny watching Mandy take off.
And then my heart fell out of my chest and I died. Easily and did a cat leap for the ground.
Mandy actually jumped 17 feet onto the embankment.
We know what's up. We will get you back. Just watch your back.
What's happened in the last few minutes? What have we decided?
We decided we overshot our attack point. The map sucks. The map sucks. And I want a new one.
What's happening, guys?
Got first point, man. Went down the hill, it's intense, coming back up, let's kill it. Beat the Russians to that point, at least.
We learned from our dumb mistakes.
What dumb mistake was that?
Trusting the map.
We talk a lot about, finishing Pocar. A lot of people are out here just to push themselves. A lot of people don't finish, but a lot of people are very satisfied even when they get the first 2 loops done, or they just push themselves until they can't go anymore. And a lot of people keep coming back with no intentions of ever finishing the race, and people still love it. So I'd encourage anybody to come out.